everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the rice cake recipe from Aaron and Claire's YouTube channel. I've been wanting to make tteokbokki for quite some time now, and I'll admit it's influenced by all the K-drama that I've been watching. But it's been quite hard to find the rice cakes here. There are a couple of places in Delhi that deliver the rice cakes, but unfortunately they don't service places outside of Delhi, and the few places that do no longer have the rice cake available. So the next best thing was to make them from scratch. So after going through Aaron and Claire's recipe, I was quite confident in making this because I realized that in principle this was very similar to making idli batter, which I've seen my mother do hundreds of times. So I was quite confident that I could do this quite easily. But I seriously underestimated the stickiness factor of it all because it was not easy working with the sticky batter, and trying to make that into a dough was quite an experience. So let's get into the specifics of making the rice cakes, where I share the learnings that I've had while following this recipe so that you don't make the same mistakes that I do. So the first thing is the kind of rice that we use. In the video they talk about short grain rice, which I found was very similar to the sushi rice. So I soaked about 500 grams of sushi rice overnight and followed the process that Aaron described, where we try to dry and ensure that there's not a lot of moisture in the rice before we grind it. But unfortunately, when I did try to grind it, there was a lot of moisture in there, so it ended up, so half my mixture ended up becoming like a very coarse paste and the other half became the powder. And I also put in all the rice into the blender at the same time, and that made it so much more difficult to work with. So then I had to take out the entire thing and start doing it in quarters, and I could no longer get it into the powder consistency that Aaron talks about in his video, because like I said, half of it was a coarse paste. So I ended up adding a lot of water and trying to make it into a paste in the blender itself. So work with small batches here if you're doing this from scratch, where you're soaking the sushi rice. Work with extremely small batches because it gets very sticky and becomes quite hard if it cools down, so you have to work quite quickly here as well. And once you've gotten through the entire rice, the soaked rice, you'll notice that at least in my experience when I did this, I noticed that there was quite a lot of coarse rice in the batter, and it was not smooth at all, and so I had to run it through a sieve. So even though in let's say if you've watched my Instagram reel, I transitioned very quickly from putting it in the mixie jar to actually having a fine paste, it took me around 4 hours to get that 2 shots because because I ended up having to make it into smaller batches and then running it through a sieve. So just ensure that when you do try to do this, make sure it's as dry as possible before you kind of put it in the grinder. So the next thing that we had to do after making the batter is to steam it. This is where I made my second mistake, where I put the entire batter into a bowl and put that in the steamer. Alternatively, I could have just scoop this up into the idli plate and put it in the idli steamer to make life so much more easier. So what happens if you put the entire thing into the steamer at once is that the top half cooks and then there's the bottom half that's still raw, and so you have to mix it around. And when you do try to mix it, because it's the sticky rice, it's very difficult to turn it around, and it's also hot, so it just becomes a mess. So if you are trying to do this, I would recommend putting it into an idli steamer, and so that it just becomes easier for you to control the essentially the sticky idlis. And then once it's done, you just remove them from the plate and then squish them together to make it into a dough. Aaron in his video does it in a microwave a couple of times, 8 or 9, but since I didn't have a microwave, I had to do it in the steamer. So after this it gets a little easier. So you bring all the steamed rice batter or rice cakes together and you try to form it into a smooth dough. It is hot, so be careful and take your time doing this. And after that is just a matter of rolling it into strips and then cutting it to the desired shape of the tok that you want to use in your dish. So overall it seems easy to make the recipe, but it just takes a lot of work. And as Aaron mentioned in his video, that if you are trying to make the tteokbokki, it's better off to just buy the tok. And if you don't have access to that, I realized that it's better to start off with buying glutinous rice flour instead of just buying the sushi rice and starting from there. So the next time I'm definitely just buying the rice flour and then starting off there, so I don't have to do the entire adventure of trying to get the soaked rice into flour and then eventually into a batter. So would I do this again? Yes, definitely, from the rice flour at least, from the stage where I use the rice flour. Would I recommend it to a friend? Yes, definitely. And how would I rate this on difficulty? I would say it's about a 3 because it does take a little bit of trial and error to get things right. So I will be using the rice cakes that I made in my tteokbokki, which is another recipe that I'm really excited to try out and maybe share with you also. So if you do have any questions, do feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will get back to them. And do remember to check out Aaron and Claire's recipe if you need to know like a more in-depth way of doing this. And once again, thanks for watching and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.